welcome to something a little bit different. News! Yes, that's right. We're going to be talking about a few posts released in the last few weeks on Steam by the Slipways developer Jakub, aka Beetlewing, that discuss how the open beta went and addresses the upcoming June 3rd launch in a few days. So, first things first, if you're not sure what Slipways is, I've included a link in the description down below to a video I did a few months back covering all of those details as well as additional links related to the game itself and where to find more information. Secondly, if it's already June 3rd or after when you're viewing this, stop, go check out the Slipways game and come back to finish the video later. You won't be disappointed in this game. I highly encourage you to add it to your Steam wish list if you haven't already. So, as always, I am your host with the most, TheChronicToast, and let's dive on in as this is an exciting bit of news before the game's release goes live. The first of two news updates were posted a few weeks back on Monday, May 10th, 2021, for those of you watching in the Slipway connected future, by the Slipways developer, detailing information that the community is sure to be very excited about, a successful open beta test for one, and more information about the features that will be included in the release. So let's get into it. Jakub opened with a thank you to the community for the overwhelming interest in the game during the open beta period and confirmed that the release will be on June 3rd, now only a few days away at the time of this video's recording. He goes on to state that thousands have participated in the open beta, with most having played over 10 hours. How cool is that? There was a significant amount of feedback on the project Steam forums, Discord channel, Twitter account, as well as email, and that's always good to hear. In this short update, the developer answered the questions most asked by those interested in the game. Specifically, the top of that list was, what's next? In short, he stated that the June 3rd release date was solid and that there were not going to be any show-stopping bugs. This is always an exciting thing to hear, at least from a player's perspective. I can only imagine it's more exciting as a developer. That's always awesome news. Jakub's focus going up to launch will be on polishing the game, tweaking and balancing some mechanics, and prepping those for release, which is always exciting. This is very good insight and encouraging for those of us hooked up onto this brief taste of the game during the open beta, as it indicates it's in a good state for launch. In an era of games always being perpetually in early access, this is a refreshing bit of news to hear, and many kudos go out to the developer for keeping this project on track. The second of the two news updates, this one was specifically released on May 20th to confirm some additional details leading up to the launch and what state the campaign missions are in. It's a good one, so let's discuss. The developer reiterated the June 3rd release date and specified that the launch will be at 15 UTC, effectively 11 a.m. Eastern or 8 a.m. Pacific here in the States, or 11 p.m. in China. As we've reported on previously, the languages available at release were reconfirmed as well to be English, French, German, Polish, Chinese, and Spanish. Jakub expanded upon the status of the game's features that we'll see at launch, which many have been eagerly waiting for to hear news about. Specifically, he stated that the big features related to release are implemented and just in a state of polishing. We'll be able to play standard runs with optional quirks to make each playthrough unique. We'll also be able to find the first 4 missions in the first act of the campaign with their own unique gameplay twists having been incorporated, supplementing the first mission that we got a chance to see during the open beta, which was a lot of fun. Every time I went back and played that, I got better, I got closer to completing it, and then I did, which was awesome. Lastly, an endless mode and a competitive ranked mode will be live at launch, with the last of the polishing work happening on this ranked mode leading up to the launch on June 3rd. The developer went into a bit more detail on how their time has been spent focusing on these large key features, and that as a result, 2 secondary features such as Steam achievements and a Tough Plus mode were not going to be ready in time for launch, but would be included as a part of the first free update shortly afterwards, alongside the remaining campaign missions as those start to get released. Some members in the community discussed concerns about the game's status and how the potential future aspects of DLC could interfere with these last milestones. And Jakub was quick to point out that there are already going to be 3 planned free updates immediately after the launch. The first one, which we listed above, is going to include general quality of life updates to the UI as well as status screens. The second update will focus on more campaign content in the second acts, with new events, quirks, and council tasks and technologies being made available to us, the players. While the third update will be complete with the last act of the campaign and provide the much requested modding support so that anyone can extend the game with custom content after that point. AKA, if anyone is out there looking at a Babylon 5 mod for Slipways, you have my personal undivided attention. Beyond that, of course, There haven't been any specific talks regarding planned DLC, just these 3 free updates, and I'm sure we'll hear more about that if there are going to be talks or considerations for that after those updates have gone live. All things considered, what does this mean for us, the players? The game is ready for launch and will go live on June 3rd. The developer, Jakub, has been open and constant in their communication with the community over on Discord as well as through Twitter, and the game is in a passion project status that exudes high quality everywhere you look or listen. Jakub has spent a lot of attention to detail on this, and it shows. This is a quality product that I highly, highly recommend taking a look at when it goes live. I'm very excited for this release, and post release, we'll be diving into the different game modes and generating content, discussing each and how they work. So keep your eyes here on this space for that and any future Slipways news updates. So, as always, I have been your host with the most, The Chronic Toast, and I'll see you next time on the other side of the Slipways June 3rd release. Have a good one.